गदाधर श्रीवास आदि गौर भक्तवृंद की, श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंड राधा कुंगिरी गोवर्धन की, ब्रजभूमि वृंदावन धाम की, नवद्वीप मायापुर धाम की, पुरुषोत्तम श्री जगन्नाथ पुरी धाम की, गंगा माई की, यमुना माई की, भक्ति देवी की, तुलसी महारानी की, समवेत गौर भक्तवृंद की, निताय गौर प्रेमानंद। All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories, all glories, all glories to Shri Guru and Gauranga. All glories to Vishnu Prabhupada. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. 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 Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamadiraye Nashabrayeshu Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishiki. We are reading from Canto 6, Chapter 1, verse number 41. Yena swadhamni amibhava. Yena swadhamni amibhava. Yena swadhamni amibhava. Yena swadhamni amibhava. Raja sattva tamomaya. Raja sattva tamomaya. Guna nama kriya rupe. Guna nama kriya rupe. Guna nama kriya rupe. Guna nama kriya rupe. Vibhavayante yatha tatham. Vibhavayante yatha tatham. Vibhavayante yatha tatham. Vibhavayante yatha tatham. Yena swadhamni amibhava. Yena swadhamni amibhava. Raja sattva tamomaya. Raja sattva tamomaya. Guna nama kriya rupe. Guna nama kriya rupe. Vibhavayante yatha tatham. Vibhavayante yatha tatham. Yena swadhamni amibhava. Yena swadhamni amibhava. Raja sattva tamomaya. Raja sattva tamomaya. Guna nama kriya rupe. Guna nama kriya rupe. Vibhavayante yatha tatham. Vibhavayante yatha tatham.
Yena swadhamni amibhava.
Yena swadhamni amibhava.
Raja sattva tamomaya.
Raja sattva tamomaya.
Guna nama kriya rupe.
Guna nama kriya rupe.
Vibhavante yatha tatham.
Vibhavayante yatha tatham.
Yena swadhamni amibhava.
Yena swadhamni amibhava.
Raja sattva tamomaya.
Raja sattva tamomaya.
Guna nama kriya rupe.
Guna nama kriya rupe.
Vibhavayante yatha tatham.
Vibhavayante yatha tatham.
Yena swadhamni amibhava.
Yena swadhamni amibhava.
Raja sattva tamomaya.
Raja sattva tamomaya.
Guna nama kriya rupe.
Guna nama kriya rupe.
Vibhavayante yatha tatham.
Vibhavayante yatha tatham. तीन हो गए. What word meanings?
What word meanings?
ये ना. By whom? Narayan. Swadhamni. Although in his own place, the spiritual world. Ami. All these. Bhava. Manifestations. Raja sattva tama maya. Created by the three modes of material nature.
by the three modes of material nature:
passion, goodness, and ignorance,
passion, goodness, and ignorance;
guna,
guna,
qualities,
qualities;
nama,
nama,
names,
names;
kriya,
kriya,
activities,
activities;
rupe,
rupe,
and with forms,
and with forms;
vibhavayante,
vibhavayante,
are variously manifested,
are variously manifested,
yathathatham,
yathathatham,
exactly to the right point.
exactly to the right point.
Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. Jai Shri Prabhupada. The supreme cause of all causes, Narayan, is situated in his own abode in the spiritual world, but nevertheless he controls the entire cosmic manifestation according to the three modes of material nature, Sattvagun, Rajogun, and Tamogun. In this way, all living entities are awarded different qualities, different names, such as Brahman, Kshatriya, and Vaishya, different duties according to Varnashrama institution, and different forms. Thus, Narayana is the cause of the entire cosmic manifestation. Purport. The Vedas inform us na tasya karyam karanam cha vidyate, na tat samascha abhyadikascha drishyate, parasya shaktir vividaiva shruyate, svabhaviki jnana bala kriya cha. Shvetashvatara Upanishad 6.8. Narayan, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, is almighty, omnipotent. He has multifarious energies, and therefore he is able to remain in his own abode and without endeavor supervise and manipulate the entire cosmic manifestation through the interaction of the three modes of material nature, Sattvagun, Rajogun, and Tamogun. These interactions create different forms, bodies, activities, and changes which all occur perfectly. Because the Lord is perfect, everything works as if He were directly supervising and taking part in it. Atheistic man, however, being covered by the three modes of material nature, cannot see Narayan to be the supreme cause behind all activities. As Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita 7:13, Tribhir Gunamayer Bhave Evi Sarvamitam Jagat Mohitam Navijanati Mamebhya Paramabhyayam. Deluded by the three modes, the whole world does not know me, who am above the modes and inexhaustible. Because unintelligent agnostics are mohita, illusioned by the three modes of material nature, they cannot understand that Narayan, Krishna, is the supreme cause of all activities. As stated in Brahma Samhita 5.1, Ishvara Parama Krishna Satchidananda Vigraha Anadiradir Govinda Sarvakaran Karan. Krishna, who is known as Govinda, is the supreme controller. He has an eternal blissful spiritual body. He is the origin of all. He has no other origin, for he is the prime cause of all causes. ॐ ज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकय चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः श्रीचैतन्यमनोवेशं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरोः श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरुं वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनासहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सगणा ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिन्निति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः नमो महावदान्याय कृष्णप्रेमप्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्णचैतन्यनाम्ने गौरतुषे नमः हे कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिकान्त राधा कान्त नमोऽस्तुते तप्तकाञ्चन गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी विश्वभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. class. So we all know the history that the pastime of Ajamil is going on. And Ajamil is just about to die, and three very good-looking Yamdutas have come to take him with their ecstatic symptoms. We have seen hair standing on the end, all their hairs were on the end, and they were with fearsome weapons, and they were ready to take the soul of Ajamil. And when they were about to take, suddenly four Vishnu Dutas come into the picture and they stop Yamdutas from doing so. And now, in previous few verses, now just the conversation between Yamdutas and Vishnu Dutas have started. So Vishnu Dutas, they were all naturally very good looking, just very opposite to Yamdutas. So Yamdutas were very ugly looking, and then Vishnu Dutas were very good looking. So Yamdutas, when they saw Vishnu Dutas, they were very much shocked. Okay, there is this much beautiful people are there with such nice symbols on their body, but still why are they doing adharma? We are the followers of Yamraj, we are doing dharma, we are taking the soul of Ajamil. But then why these good-looking people, those good-looking people, naturally it means that they are very dharmic people. So if they are so dharmic, why are they taking the soul of, why are they stopping us from taking the soul of Ajamil, who is a very adharmic person? Why are they doing adharma? So therefore their beauty was glorified. And then Yamdutas in the next verse, they ask the questions that you all look very nice, dharmic people, why are you doing this adharma? And to that Vishnu Dutas, they started smiling and then replying. Why did they smile? Because they knew that actually the Yamdutas who were supposed to follow Dharma, but they were following Adharma by taking the soul of this Vaishnava Ajamil. So they were thinking कि अरे खुद लोग अधर्म कर रहे हैं और हमको पूछ रहे कि हम क्यों अधर्म कर रहे हैं. They were thinking like that. The Yamdutas themselves are doing adharma, but then they are blaming us that we are doing adharma, whereas we are following the highest dharma. So therefore, with a little smile, now they started asking Yamdutas the question that if you really are the Parshad of Yamraj, then you must know dharma. Then tell us what is dharma. Tell us the definition of dharma. Then we'll accept and then we'll decide whether Ajamil is sinful or sinless. So like that, we came to the previous verse where it was said that Veda pranihito dharmo hi adharmastad viparyeya Vedo narayana sakshat swayambhuriti shushrumu. So here we discuss some very important points. Yamduta said that whatever is given in Vedas, that is dharma, whatever is against Vedas, that is adharma. And to that they replied, we are not concocting this, but we have Shushruma. We have heard this. We have heard this from our authority who is Yamraj. So we discussed that Shushruma is very important. Just like repeating what we have heard from the authorities. So just repeating as it is very important. Otherwise, what will happen is we'll mix our contamination into it, and the other person, the recipient, will be disturbed by this. He will not get the true benefit of the Krishna Katha. So when Maharaj Prabhupada come, he was giving very nice example. Like let's say you have prepared a nice tasty kheer, sugar डाला है, अच्छे से राइस डाला, it's very nice and sweet. और उसमें one drop of poison you add, just one drop of poison. 99.99% it is kheer, but one drop of poison you add. And now if you give someone to drink that, please take it. Will it be beneficial for the person? It will be in fact harmful for the person. Similarly, many people, 99.99%, they'll talk like Prabhupada only. As if like Prabhupada is only talking. But then 1% of their own tinges they will add of Mayavad and other things. And so externally looking, it's very difficult to judge also. Because 99% is speaking correct philosophy. But then one has to be very much good in scriptures in order to understand that whether a person is bona fide or not, whether he is mixing his poison or not. So therefore, for us as preachers also, it's very important to simply hear the what we have heard and read from Prabhupada and other senior devotees. Then otherwise, that's how you see many up-sampradayas come into the picture. You see Bhaktivinoda Thakur's time, they were all looking like they were followers of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. But little deviations they all take out, and now they are practically speaking innumerable number of up-sampradayas. And Harikshara Prabhuji was giving one very nice example in this regards that market mein agar if there is an original product, then by default many duplicate products come into the picture. एक अच्छा original product होता है तो many duplicate products also come. Like Bisleri bottle we have seen. There are so many different types, Belsari, Bisleri, and so many things are there. The original का बहुत सारा duplicate आ जाता है market में. So there is the natural tendency to concoct things. So therefore, it's very important for preachers to just say as it is. So even Prahlad Maharaj, when in the 7th canto recently I was reading, So Prahlad Maharaj was being taught by Shanda and Amarka, and he did not like those teachings which Shanda and Amarka are giving, because they were teaching that so and so person are enemies and we are friends and we have to kill enemies. So this harm and all these kinds of Vaishnava things they were teaching. So Prahlad Maharaj did not like it. And then Chanda and Amarka would go, break time ho gaya, so they'll go to their household activities. And at that time, friends of Prahlad Maharaj would come, ki chalo chalo khelne ka time ho gaya, let's go and play. We are very small, we are meant to play. So at that time, Prahlad Maharaj smiles and he tells them, as soon as he got little opportunity, now teachers are not there, so devotee ऐसे ही preaching करना शुरू कर देते हैं. So they all सबको बिठाया आस-पास में, and now Prahlad Maharaj started speaking on the glories of Vaishnavism and the futility of material world. He gave very nice subject matter, very nice teachings. So at that time, the children were confused because Shanda and Amarka is teaching something whom we consider spiritual master. They are also teaching from Vedas only, but they are concocting it. Because Vedeshtu Sarve Rahameva Vedyo, the true purport of Vedas is to understand Krishna. They are teaching from Vedas only, but their purport is completely opposite, not in regards to the true purport of the Vedas. So therefore now they were confused कि प्रहलाद का सुने या Shanda Amarka का सुने. But then the devotee का power ऐसा होता है, they all got convinced of the teachings of Prahlad Maharaj and they all rejected Shanda and Amarka. So जब ये इतना ज़्यादा हो गया, first तो प्रहलाद महाराज खुद कर रहा था भक्ति, ठीक है कोई problem नहीं था. But now all the people in Gurukul became devotees. So now he went to complain to Hiranyakashipu कि देखो अभी ऐसा हो रहा है. But before that, Hiranyakashipu tried many means to kill Prahlad Maharaj. Last में जब नहीं मार पा रहा था, तो Shanda and Amarka they came to Hiranyakashipu and said, see, don't worry, बच्चा ही है ये. इसको गुरुकुल पढ़ने दो, अभी थोड़ा बड़ा हो जाएगा तो फिर शायद सुधर जाएगा. He will get knowledge. Now Shukracharya is also not there. When he'll come back, Shukracharya will give some good knowledge and then he'll forget everything about it. Till then you let him be in Gurukul, it is harmless. But now when he was in Gurukul, he started preaching and अब सब demon के बच्चे, because demon they were kids only, no? So इतना contamination आया नहीं था उनमें. They were not as contaminated as their fathers and forefathers. So Prahlad Maharaj took this opportunity that they are very nice recipients for preaching. So he preached them, he converted them all into Vaishnavas, and now Shanda Amarka thought that अभी बहुत ज़्यादा हो गया. So they went to Hiranyakashipu and then further things happened, and so many other things happened. But the point was that Shanda and Amarka were also teaching from Vedas only, but they had their own concoction. And whereas Prahlad Maharaj was teaching pure teachings. So therefore, what changed the heart of students were not the teachings of Shanda and Amarka, but the teachings of Prahlad Maharaj. They were benefited by this. So, and he said very nice shloka that how these teachings of Shanda and Amarka are wrong. In that context, he said, Andha Yathande Upaniyamanas. That the teachings of Shanda and Amarka are like, because they themselves are blind, and it is like they are leading other blind people into the ditch. If you will follow the teachings of Shanda and Amarka, they themselves are blind, they are going to hell for sure. And if you follow them, you will also naturally go to hell. Andha Yathande Upaniyamana. Blind man leading a blind person to hell. Hence, for preachers, it is very, very necessary to not deviate from the teachings but repeat the acharyas. Another important point which we discussed from the last verse is that which is there in Vedas is dharma, and except other things are adharma. But we saw that Vedas also sometimes cheat. They do cheating because Vedas, 99% of Vedas talk about kamya karma. Kamya karma means do this good activities, pious activities, and you will get nice wife, you will get nice children, you will get nice family, you will get nice enjoyment, you will go to heaven and enjoy their drink somras there. That is the main purpose of the life. They'll speak like that. So not what we have to follow. Those instructions are also correct only. I'm not blaspheming the Vedic literature. But those instructions are not meant for the followers of Bhakti Yogis. Those are meant for the people who are very, very adharmic and they want to enjoy, and to teach them that do at least some dharma and you will get enjoyment. Those teachings are meant for them. But these teachings are not meant for bhaktas. So for bhaktas, what teachings are meant for? That we have discussed it. Savai pumsam paro dharmo yato bhakti arokshile. The highest dharma for devotees is rendering devotional service. Not doing this kama karma and all. If we see from devotional point of view, that comes under adharma. We should not even think or aspire for that. And then the highest dharma which we saw, that the ending of Bhagavad Gita also said that sarva dharman parityajya mam ekam sharanam vraja. That give up all kinds of religion and completely surrender to my lotus feet. So here recently in 7th canto, in one of the Prabhupads I was reading that Prabhupada was quoting this sarva dharman parityajya in one of the prayers of Prahlad Maharaj. And he was saying from other point of view that isn't this thing very much demanding? That Krishna is saying that तुम जो भी कर रहे हो, give up all your dharma and simply surrender unto me. As if he is begging that I have no servants, you please come, and it's like demand like that, demanding कि मेरे पास तो सेवा के लिए कोई है नहीं, तो आ जाओ तुम, you simply surrender into me. So this is very demanding thing. It's appearing as if Krishna has no one to serve and he is asking कि आओ मुझे serve करो. But is it true? Then why is he demanding? अगर सर्वेंट की जरूरत नहीं है तो डिमांड क्यों कर रहे हैं?
That is beneficial for us.
हाँ, correct. So that's what Prabhupada said, and that's also was teaching of Prahlad Maharaj came. That Lord actually has millions of servants. Like we see Lakshmi Sahasrashata Sambrama Sevyamana. Hundreds and thousands and millions of Lakshmis are serving Krishna. So he does not require service from us. But then why still he is demanding? Leave about service of Lakshmi. He does not require service of anyone because he is Atmaram. Atmaram means he is completely satisfied in the self. He does not need the service of Lakshmi also. In the pastime of Kumaras, Chatush Kumaras, this was coming, that where Lord was saying that everyone in this world are mad after getting little favor of Lakshmi. Lakshmi ka thoda favor mein, so therefore they do Lakshmi Puja and other things also to get little favor of Lakshmi. Even Brahma and other demigods, highest demigods, are mad. Ki Lakshmi, I have just glanced little bit over me. So they are completely mad that, oh, my dear Lakshmi, please glance little bit on me. So they are all mad after favor of Lakshmi. But Lakshmi is still leaving them and she is serving Narayan only, even though Narayan does not want her favor. So सब लोग लक्ष्मी के फेवर के पीछे पड़े हैं, but Lakshmi is not giving favor to them, but she is favoring Narayana, to whom he doesn't, and Narayana doesn't require favor also. So Lord says, how I have got such an exalted position that Lakshmi himself, even though I don't want her service, she wants to serve me by serving my devotees. So because Lord is humble, so he gives this reason that because I am serving Brahmanas and I am serving devotees, that's how Lakshmi is serving me. So that shows his humility. But the point is, in this context, we understand that Lord does not require anyone's service. But then still he demands, why? So that the living entities in general can be purified. And Prahlad Maharaj explains this with a very nice analogy. Like let's say, makeup kar rahe ho. Of course, man does not have much experience in this, but so, but if we decorate our face, then automatically in the mirror, the person is decorated. ऐसा नहीं है कि mirror में भी अलग से reflection को decorate करना पड़ता है. When we decorate ourselves, the mirror automatically gets decorated. So similarly, when we also glorify the Lord, then automatically we ourselves gets glorified because we are like reflection of the Lord. So when we focus on service of the Lord, when we focus on glorifying the Lord, then automatically we ourselves also get glorified. And that we have seen throughout Srimad Bhagavatam, that when actually we glorify the Lord, we become glorious and we become purified. Like the famous sloka, Shinvatam Sva Katha Krishna. And Krishna is also demanded, do my katha. But then why? What is the benefit for Krishna? There is no benefit, but we'll get purified by hearing the Krishna katha. And to that extent, that devotees get glorified more than the Lord himself. When they glorify the Lord, the devotees get more glorified than Lord himself. And that we have seen throughout Bhagavatam. Like recently I am reading 7th canto. 7th canto in total has 15 chapters. And out of that, 10 chapters describes the story of this Hiranyakashipu, Narasimha and Prahlad Maharaj. So out of the 10 chapters, only in one chapter Narasimha appears, and just 5-6 verses Shukdev Goswami says that Narasimha appeared. इतना height था उनका, इतना fierce body था. एक बार में 2-3 वर्ष में बताया how he killed Hiranyakashipu and खत्म. This much 10 chapters में, one chapter में 5-6 verses are glories of Narasimha. Rest 9 chapters are glories of Prahlad Maharaj. Starting from first chapter till the end of 10th chapter. Now in the final section and final chapter or the 10th chapter, so specifically mention about the glories of Prahlad Maharaj. But all other 9 chapters also we see that devotees are only glorified. So when we try to glorify the Lord, devotees are glorified even more than Lord himself, and glorified and purified. And throughout the Bhagavatam, if we see Dhruva Maharaj's pastime also, Lord appeared for a little short bit of time. But then throughout the 4th canto, glories of, not the throughout, but the first few chapters, the glories of Dhruva Maharaj have been explained. And then Vritrasur pastime also, Lord could have directly called Chitraketu Maharaj ki aa, but he wanted to show the mood of his devotees. So then he got, through Parvati, he got Chitraketu Maharaj cursed, and then he got Vritrasur aa. And to show the Vritrasur also could have been killed directly only, but to show the glories of Vritrasur, The Vritrasur's pastime is also very very amazing. That comes in 6th canto. That specially उनके लिए वज्र बनाना पड़ा इंद्रा को. And that vajra was made of, anyone knows? Bones of Dadichi Muni. So that conversation is also very interesting, but वो थोड़ा deviation हो जाएगा. When demigods went and approached Dadichi Muni to give the bones, so Dadichi Muni little bit tested them, थोड़ा बहुत डराया उनको कि मैं नहीं दूंगा, but we will not go into that. So somehow they got the thunderbolt made of bones of Dadichi Muni, and Indra and Vritrasur's fight is going on. And Indra को भगवान ने बोला है तो चिंता मत कर, in this thunderbolt there is power of Dadichi Muni and I am myself, I am also there, I am also empowering this. So this will not fail against Vritrasur. So Indra first he went, he was fighting with Vritrasur. First he started fighting with his mace. So with very very strong mace Indra has वो फेंक के मारा Vritrasur को, and all the asuras were running in fear, and Vritrasur fought it with his left hand. बाएं हाथ का खेल बोलते हैं. बाएं हाथ से पकड़ लिया और उल्टा घुमा करके फेंक के मारा. ऐरावत को लगा, and Airavot's whole tusk got broken. उसका बहुत he suffered a lot, Airavat, and he fell 14 yards behind. और इंद्रा भी गिर गया chariot से. So like that very pathetic condition Indra and this Airavat was in. So now Indra became very very fearful कि मैंने mace फेंक के मारा. He caught it with his left hand and he used it against me. If same happens with my vajra, if I throw my vajra, he catches it with his left hand and again throws at me. तो मेज से तो बच गया, वज्रा से मैं नहीं बच पाऊंगा. So he was very enough fixed कि अभी मैं वज्रा फेंक के मारूं या नहीं मारूं. So at that time the mood of Vritrasur was, Vritrasur knew that Narayan had created this so that he could be killed and he could go back home, back to Godhead. So first time in battlefield it is happening that opponent is motivating the another opponent to get up and kill me so that I can go back home, back to Godhead. Because Vritrasur, he was in so much hurry to go back home, back to Godhead. He is motivating Indra on the battlefield कि डर मत, कुछ नहीं होगा, वज्र के साथ ऐसा नहीं होगा. Lord himself have told you that this vajra will be completely effective, so why are you fearing? Why are you fearing? And he is motivating, मार जल्दी उठा के मार. But still Indra was thinking नहीं ये कुछ trick कर रहा है. So even though he had got benediction from Lord Narayan, but still Lord Narayan, he did not have that much faith. But Vritrasur, even though he was about to be killed by Vajra, but he had faith on the words of the Lord. So he, in the middle of battlefield, he is motivating, नहीं होगा, कुछ नहीं होगा, मार, nothing will happen. I am sure I will not do anything, touch भी नहीं करूँगा, मार तो उठ के. So like this, and then finally he was thinking, अरे इंद्रा से कुछ नहीं होगा, he is not doing anything. Finally he offered his 4 verses, the prayers, the famous prayers of his 4 verses. It's a very very beautiful verses where he's crying to the Lord, oh Lord, I am feeling very much separation from you. Just finish this pastime early so that I can come back to you very, very quickly. So like that, so we see the glorification of Vritrasur was to be happened. So therefore Lord arranged this pastime. And even if we see Bali Maharaj also Lord Vishnu could have went directly that give me everything. Sara jo bhi hai de de mere ko, whatever 3 words, and Bali Maharaj could have given it very very happily. But still Bali Maharaj ka glories, Lord wanted to show the glories of Bali Maharaj. So therefore he went as a mere thief, showing as a Brahmana, as a Vaman, and he went there and indirectly he is asking so that he could prove that Bali Maharaj even overnight सब कुछ चला गया, friends, family, घर बार सब कुछ चला गया. Even in that tried position he is there and Lord has tied him and Lord is asking कि अभी भी you have not fulfilled your promise, and he is scolding in front of everyone. But still Bali Maharaj is not in mood of envious mode कि एक रात में cheating करके सब कुछ ले लिया मेरा, so it is your mistake. Even in that position he was thinking that what more can I give my Lord, and he was thinking कि मैंने अब तक body ही बचा है, so oh Lord, you with the third step you take my body only. So why indirectly he is doing all these pastimes? So that his devotees can be glorified. So actually Lord does not want any glorification, but he wants the devotees to be glorified. So therefore when we glorify the Lord, the person who is getting benefit is us only, not the Lord. Not the Lord is getting benefited. So all this we saw in the previous verse that what is the highest dharma. Bada tangent ho gaya. But the highest dharma is serving the Lord, and in that our benefit is only there, not the Lord's benefit. And now that we come to the current verse. So previous verse said Vedo Narayana Sakshat, that Vedas are Narayan himself. Now the question might come that then who is Narayan? Immediate question was Narayan kaun hai? So to that Yamduta said this verse. ये न स्वधाम्नि अमी भावा रजसत्व तमोमया गुण नाम क्रिया रूपेर विभावयन्ते यथा कथम. So here he said Lord stays in his own abode, but he controls everything. Even though he stays in his own abode, but still he is controlling everything. And Prabhupada in purport mentions that how he mentions this shloka which is Parasya Shaktir Vivideva Shubhyate. That by he has multifold energies, and by that energies he is controlling everything in this multifold. And Prabhupada often gives the example of king and the government example basically. The prime minister is one and his rule is everywhere. Many energies are there who works under him. But that does not mean he individually goes to सबके घर में आके ट्रैफिक पुलिस का पर्चा काट के जाते हैं ऐसा कुछ नहीं है. All his energies work automatically under him. So he does not have to go to each and every house to say the rules and regulations. So similarly, Lord also is staying in his own abode and everything is accomplished simply by his energies. So if we see, but there is a little bit difference in this analogy. A normal living entity like Prime Minister Narendra Modi, he cannot expand himself and be everywhere. But Lord, even though his energies are doing everything, but still he is present everywhere in each and every strata of the universe. So because to maintain everything, for small thing also to happen, for hand also to move, Paramatma's ka, this one says sanction is needed. So Lord is present in each and every strata of Prakriti. Beginning from glancing at Prakriti, when he glances at Prakriti, when Mahatattva comes into the picture, for other reactions also to happen from Mahatattva, sense Devatas comes, senses comes, mind, intelligence, everything comes, the gross matter, five things, all that are coming. For each and every reaction to happen, Lord's energy, it should be infused with Lord's energy. Then only reaction would happen. Otherwise, it would not happen. So हर एक स्ट्रेटा में हर एक जैसे एक एक सेंसेस आ रहे फ्रॉम अर्थ फ्रॉम ईथर दिस air is coming, fire is coming, water is coming, finally earth is coming. In each and every reaction, Lord's energy should be infused. Not that everything is happening automatically after Lord glances. This comes in third canto only, where I'm not remembering the exact, but it is said that in each and every reactions, Lord mercy should be there. And then we see as Mahavishnu, he is the shelter of all the universes. Then as Garbhodakshaya Vishnu, he is the shelter of the whole universe. Then as Shirodakshaya Vishnu is present in each and every atom and heart of individual beings. So we see at each and every level, the Lord is present and he is maintaining the universe. So therefore it is said, Goloka eva nivasati akhilatma bhuta. He is there in Golok, but still he is pervading everywhere. He is present everywhere. And he is different from this universe also. I heard very nice analogies few days back. It is said that this universe is also Lord only, and Lord is also Lord only. Then what is the difference between both of them? How to understand the difference between both of them? So Lord is this universe also, and Lord is not this universe also. How to understand that? A simple example is given, like pot. Pot is made of earth. Earth को मल करके we make a pot. So earth को from earth we made a pot and we kept the pot on earth only. So pot is made up of earth. It is nothing but earth. It has came from earth only and it is kept on earth. Similarly, this whole universe has come out of from Lord only. It is form of Lord only. It sustains on the Lord itself, Lord only. So with this analogy, we can understand this very, very easily. And we see in Bhagavad Gita, Lord also speaks that how He is there in His word, in His Dham, but at the same time He is all pervading. Everywhere He is there. And 10th canto, which specifically talks about His opulence, He said, Rasom Apsu Pante, I am everywhere. Whatever best things are there, that is my representation. Like out of mountains, I am Himalayas. Then out of Rudras, or out of demons, I am Prahlad. And out of sages, I am Narad. Like that, He goes on saying that whatever best you see is my representation. At the end, he says, अथाव बहुनेतेन किम ज्ञातेन तव अर्जुन विष्ठप्याहमेदं कृष्ण एकांशेन स्थितो जगत्. So at the end he gets tired कि मैं और कितना बताऊं? How much should I tell about me? Just I'll give you a summary. With my one single fragment, I pervade the entire universe. And that single fragment is Shirodakshaya Vishnu, because after many fragments, Shirodakshaya Vishnu comes and he pervades the entire universe. So this is how we see Lord is there in his own abode and simultaneously he is present everywhere. Now further it is said that Narayan is situated in the translation and purport of Prabhupada said, Narayan is situated in his own abode. Nevertheless, he controls the entire cosmic manifestation according to the three modes of material nature, Sattva-gun, Rajo-gun and Tamo-gun. So now let's focus that how Lord is then in his own abode, and but then with the three modes, how he is controlling everything, Sattva, Raja and Tamo. Let's focus on this statement. So in this context, in Bhagavad Gita, there is very nice verse comes there, Trivir Gunamair Bhave, Evi Sarvamidam Jagat, Mohitam Na Abhijanati, Mame Vyaparam Avyaya. So there it is said that deluded by the three modes, goodness, passion, and ignorance, the whole world does not know me, who am above the modes and inexhaustible. And based upon this combination of three modes, everyone gets their own nature. We see each and every person is of a specific nature. And by the three modes of material nature, when we see goodness is prevalent, Brahman category come. When goodness, passion is goodness, passion, or only passion? I think only passion when it comes, then Kshatriya, I mean majority of passion. And then combination of passion and ignorance is Shudra, and Shudra is considered as mostly ignorance, mode of ignorance. So like that we see everyone has got their own nature based upon their quantities of three modes of material nature. So in this context, a very nice story comes in fifth canto of Priyavrat Maharaj. So Priyavrat Maharaj, we all know that he was great devotee of the Lord. So in fourth canto ending, when Uttanapad Maharaj's whole dynasty, this Shukdev Goswami is ending. So at that time, Shukdev Goswami starts to describe why Priyavrat Maharaj came into the picture to rule the world. So what happened was, first Swayambhuva Manu was there. He had two sons, Uttanapad Maharaj and Priyavrat Maharaj. Priyavrat Maharaj was elder son, and then he was supposed to rule the world. But then he had renunciation inclination. So therefore he went to the ashram of Narad Muni and he became brahmachari there. Now Uttanapad Maharaj was small, so he was given the kingdom because he was the only one remaining. And Uttanapad Maharaj's dynasty was leading. Dhruva Maharaj came in, and many other great kings came into the same dynasty. Prithu Maharaj also himself came into the same dynasty. And finally, Prachina Parishad. It came to Prachina Parishad, and he had 10 sons or 10 prachetas. Now, Prachina Parishad, he was a very, very karma-kandic person. He was good king, pious king. All Praja was also happy, but his goal was not to go back home, back to Godhead. So Narad Muni was thinking, अरे इनकी डायनेस्टी में सब मैंने डिलीवर किए. Uttanapad Maharaj I delivered, Dhruva Maharaj I delivered, and then Prithu Maharaj was of course delivered by Chatush Maharaj. But all of them became devotees. But ये कर्म कांडी कैसे निकला? प्राचीन परिषद इसको भी deliver करेंगे. So he went. At that time, Prachin Parishad had 10 sons who were called Prachetas, and he had ordered these 10 sons, you go and perform austerities, and when you get the result of austerities, you come back and rule the kingdom. So they were performing austerities for a very, very long time in the middle of ocean. And now Prachin Parishad, he was ruling the kingdom. And now Narad Muni came, and just in few chapters he convinced Prachin Parishad that sab kuch waste hai, ja karke renounce your kingdom right now only and do bhakti. And he also got convinced. But then still some tinges were left in him. He thought that okay, I'll renounce, but first at least let my sons come. They are in austerities. मैं चला गया तो भी kingdom कौन rule करेगा? तो वो भेजना होता था अपने पार्षदों को कि जाकर के बोलो कि जल्दी austerities खत्म करके आए. My sons, you will come back, then I'll go. So Narad Muni at that time he gave another analogy to prove that you are in a very, very precarious condition. Just renounce immediately only. And he told that your position is like that you are like a deer who are enjoying the wildlife around, you are enjoying with your mate around, and piche there is a hunter who is waiting, and samne there is a tiger who is there. You are, and then he first of all he told this analogy that once there was a deer, wife के साथ अच्छे से enjoy कर रहा था, पीछे hunter is ready and आगे tiger is ready to kill him. And then he asked, do you know who this deer is? And then Prachina Parishad understood कि मेरी बात कर रहे हैं. So I am in such a precarious condition. So at that time he thought तुरंत गद्दी से उठ के he renounced the kingdom. So for a long time no one was there. Then Prachetas came back from austerities. Prachetas begot son into one of the, I forgot the name, but that girl was given by the king of forest to them. And 10 people had one wife. I would not go into them how or why that happens. That is also a big story. But then they begot the son, and that son was Daksha. So Daksha's previous life, where he offended Shiva, he got the head of goat. And now in that condition, how a person can live? कैसे बात भी कैसे करेगा सामने वाले से, खाएगा कैसे उन सबके साथ बैठ के? So therefore he locked himself into the room, and naturally he died after some time, and then he took this birth as a son of Prachetas. But then he could remember his previous life, that how in previous life he was a Prajapati, who is one of the governing principle, and now he has fallen down to Kshatriya, a mere Kshatriya. तो इसे नहीं ऐसे मैं एक्सेप्ट नहीं करूंगा, I want my original powers back. तो वो तपस्या के लिए चले गए. Into the forest he went for doing tapasya, and he did tapasya for second, third, fourth, and fifth manvantara. Second manvantara में गए, third, fourth, and fifth manvantara he did tapasya, and sixth manvantara he came back. He was reinstated in his position as Prajapati. तो अब रूल करने के लिए कोई नहीं है, क्योंकि प्रचेता also renounced कि वो भी devotees थे. They got mercy of Lord Shiva. उनका बेटा था दक्षा, वो भी रूल करने में इंटरेस्टेड नहीं था, वो चला गया तपस्या करने. No one was there to rule. So therefore they approached Priyavrat Maharaj. स्वयंभुआ मनु बोले हाँ मेरा एक बेटा भी था जो ब्रह्मचारी आश्रम ज्वाइन कर लिया था. I'll tell him to marry and continue his life as Kshatriya. So he went to Priyavrata Maharaj. At that time Narad Muni brahmachari class चल रहा था. At that time स्वयंभुआ मनु entered and he is trying to convince. But still Priyavrata Maharaj was no, नहीं मेरे को नहीं जाना था. There is no point in going there. I am already a brahmachari. I am a renounced person. तो जब वो भी नहीं हो पा रहा था तो at that time Brahma himself had to come into the picture. So Brahma flying on his swan with various other chief devatas, Gandharvas, Apsaras, they all came to convince Priyavrata Maharaj. So at that time this particular verse was said that is on the same context that we are discussing. Yeah. So at that time this is Canto 5 chapter 1 verse number 14. So now Lord Brahma is trying to convince Priyavrata Maharaj to enter into Grihasthashram. So at that time he says him that actually don't think that I am your enemy, but actually this is the order of Lord. Lord wants you to rule in such and such way so that you can be glorified amongst everyone. So at that time he said this verse 5:1:14. He said, "My dear boy, all of us are bound by Vedic injunctions to the divisions of Varnashram according to our qualities and work. These divisions are difficult to avoid because they are scientifically arranged. We must therefore carry out our duties of Varnashram Dharma like bulls obliged to move according to the direction of driver pulling on ropes knotted in their noses." So at that time he says, Priyavrata Maharaj, see, by default you are a Kshatriya, so you are meant to rule this world. And it is the order of the Lord that you go ahead and you rule this world. And he said that we are all bound by the orders of Lord. No one, including myself, Lord Shiva, or anyone can transgress the laws which are created by the Lord. So you act according to your Varnashrama qualities, and then you will also be happy, we will also be happy. And then he gave a very nice analogy to understand. He said that like bulls are obliged to move according to the direction of driver pulling on the ropes knotted to their nose. So just bull के नाक में भी see और horses के नाक में भी they tie the ropes so to guide the horses or to pull into some particular direction. So similarly, these three modes are binding ourselves also. We think that I am independent, I am taking decisions on my own, but we don't understand that it happens due to the effect of grihas and the three modes of material nature that control a person. So we think ourselves as independent controllers, but actually we are like that bulls who are tied strongly, uh, not just nose but the whole body with the three strong ropes of three modes of material nature. So we all have seen that all of us have acquired a particular nature under the influence of three modes of material nature, and we are very, very tightly bound to it. And it completely, the nature drags us. We all have that practical experience that even when we don't want to something, when we don't want to offend devotees also in something happens, and we are forced to behave in certain way, even if when we don't want to and we end up committing offenses. Because our nature throughout the time it has become so very strong, so that shows how we are completely controlled by three modes of material nature. Hence, it is very, very important to work according to one's own nature. So therefore, Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Shreyan Swadharma Viguna Paradharmat Swanashita Swadharme Nidanam Shreya Paro Dharmo Bhayava. That even though दूसरे का धर्म easy लग रहा है follow करने के लिए, but still you should continue to follow your own dharma. So Arjuna also was in the same fix. He was a Kshatriya by nature and he wanted to renounce sannyas lemon. So at that time Krishna says, what will you do even by taking sannyas? And let's say you have given up everything, but your nature is that of fighting like a Kshatriya. So even if you renounce everything and you go to the forest, या वहाँ सेज ने तेरे को कुछ ऐसा बोल दिया तो you'll take out the sword and you'll be ready to kill the sage. You'll forget what your true nature is, and your nature of Kshatriya will come out even though you are not qualified for sannyas, but you are going for sannyas. So therefore, this proves that we have our own. Of course, for the Arjuna, it was not valid because he was pure devotee, but just to prove the point, he was saying like that. The point is, we are all very, very tightly bound to our own natures. And now, if we want to go back to Godhead, then this nature should be dissolved. This effect of three modes of material nature should be gone away. So now the $1,000,000 question is, how can we change our nature very, very quickly? And the answer is, one line answer is bhakti. Bhakti is, I'll elaborate also, don't worry. So, bhakti has been described in throughout the scriptures as most powerful tool. So this section also which we are seeking, that shows the policy of karma kanda and jnana kanda and proves the supremacy of bhakti. The whole pastime of Jamil is happening just to prove the glories of the holy name of the Lord. And what to talk about name, form, qualities, pastimes and other things, how powerful bhakti is. So let's see some shlokas and examples from Srimad Bhagavatam where the power of bhakti is proved. So there's very nice shloka we all know. Savai pumsam paro dharmo yato bhakti radokshade ahetu kiya pratihata ye atma suprasidhati. So this is a verse which has many meanings. So the general meaning which we see is ahetuki apratihata yatma suprasidati. That bhakti, when bhakti can completely satisfy oneself, when the bhakti is ahetuki and apratihata. Ahetuki means unmotivated bhakti. Not I am doing bhakti for so and so things. I am doing bhakti only for pleasure of the Lord. No material motivations basically. No material motivation. That is ahetuki, and what is apratihata? Uninterrupted bhakti. Continuous करते रहेंगे, that will satisfy oneself, and that is the highest dharma. That is ahetuki apratihata. Another meaning of this verse is ahetuki and apratihata can also be used to show the attributes of bhakti. That bhakti by nature is ahetuki and apratihata. How to understand this? Bhakti, first of all, let's see ahetuki. Ahetuki means how one starts or how one goal comes into the form of bhakti. There is no cause for it. ऐसा नहीं है कि I'll do so many austerities and then Lord will bestow mercy upon me, or I'll become so much rich and by that I'll be eligible to do bhakti. So true bhakti is actually it is causeless bhakti. So therefore Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also says Brahmanda Brahmite Kona Bhagyavan Ji. What is the Guru Krishna Prasade Paya Bhakti Lata Bij? How one comes into the fold of bhakti is through great fortune. So there is no reason specific कि इसको भक्ति मिला और इसको नहीं मिला. It is only हम तो सोचते हैं मैंने कुछ बड़ा किया होगा तभी मैं भक्ति की लाइन में आया हूँ. But ऐसा नहीं. It's completely by fortune. यदृच्छया. It has happened on its own. Just by mercy of some devotee it has happened. So true bhakti is ahetuki. It happens automatically. We also heard that famous saying bhakti sanjayate bhakti. भक्ति का और कोई कॉज नहीं है. भक्ति भक्ति का कॉज है. Like if we see Rupa Goswami breaks the stages from Shraddha to Prema in 9 stages. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur breaks down it further and gives 14 stages. So if you see 14 stages, what is the first stage? Anyone knows? Satam Kripa. Satam Kripa. That उससे ही श्रद्धा भी मिलेगी. श्रद्धा automatically ऐसा नहीं है मैं कुछ scripture पढ़ के मेरे को श्रद्धा आ जाएगी. श्रद्धा also comes first step is Satam Kripa. It is mercy of devotees. So now a person might say cause तो आ गया भक्ति का. Bhakti's cause is mercy of devotees. So how can you say that bhakti is causeless? Now let's go a little deeper. So what is the cause? Satam Kripa is the cause for one doing bhakti. But what is cause of Satam Kripa? Mercy. Why did the devotee show mercy? Because of bhakti in the heart of a devotee. उसी की वजह से तो he'll feel merciful because the nature of mercy comes through bhakti only. Devotional service. All this good quality comes through bhakti only. So the cause of mercy is also the bhakti of that devotee. So bhakti sanjayate bhakti. Actually bhakti नहीं bhakti produce की है. So therefore bhakti is ahetuki. There is nothing, no cause for bhakti. Bhakti itself is cause for its own thing. So this is ahetuki. Second is bhakti is apratihata. That means bhakti is unstoppable. That means nothing material no material thing is an obstruction to bhakti. Bhakti cannot be stopped by anything. And we have seen Swalpamapyasya dharmasya trayate mahatobhaya. That even if one performs a little bit of bhakti, it is for sure that the person will reach to the end. For sure. Even though he has performed little bit bhakti, but Lord will keep on giving him opportunity after opportunity and he will finally go back home, back to Godhead. So bhakti cannot be obstructed by anything, not even by sins of a person. So therefore Lord also says that abhichetsu duracharo bhastima manyava. That even if one happens to perform sinful activity, but still he will very soon by doing my ananya bhakti he will purify himself and he will come to me. So even sins, material sins, which on the material platform is the highest obstruction, they do not cause obstruction in process of bhakti. थोड़ी देर के लिए ऐसा लगेगा that it has obstructed bhakti, but it has actually not obstructed bhakti. A person will surely reach to his goal, back home, back to God. So the only thing which the sadhakas must be careful of offenses, which Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has said, especially Vaishnava Aparadha, which he said is Madhahati Aparadha, mad elephant offense. So Bhakti Lata बीच creeper उगेगा पक्का अगर पानी वगैरह देते रहोगे, but हाथी ने अगर उखाड़ के ही फेंक दिया, so there is no chance that creeper will grow up again. So and of course Aparadha is not something on material platform, it is on a very high platform. So therefore that can cause obstruction to bhakti. But that also some devotees explain that offenses से भक्ति चली जाती है. That is like bank account, frozen bank account. Like say बैंक अकाउंट इज देयर, 1 करोड़ रुपए है आपके बैंक अकाउंट में, बट बिकॉज ऑफ सम इलीगल एक्टिविटीज गवर्नमेंट सीज कर देता है, फ्रोजन कर लेता है. Even though you have bank account, but still you cannot access money because it is frozen. So when the terms where the illegal things are, everything is, all the process has been done, तो account फिर से release कर देंगे and again you can transact money from it. So similarly, offenses also cause disturbance for some time. A devotee will suffer a lot because of his offenses, and once this quota of suffering is over, then again he will be reinstated to the point of bhakti. So like that also some devotees explain. So the main point is bhakti is apratiyata. Nothing can stop bhakti. You do not require any material qualification also to get to advance in bhakti. And so therefore Lord Krishna also in Bhagavad Gita says this very nice verse, मामी पार्थ व्यपाश्रित्य ये पी अस्यु पाप योनय श्रीयो वैश्यस तथा शूद्रास ते पी यान्ति परां गतिम्. So in general, in this verse, our Krishna says that, O son of Pritha, those who take shelter in me, though they be low-born women, vaishyas or shudras, can approach the supreme destination. So no material thing can cause obstruction to bhakti. ऐसा नहीं है कि I am born in low caste, मैं शूद्रा पैदा हुआ तो मैं भक्ति नहीं कर सकता. ऐसा नहीं, because nothing material can cause obstruction to devotional service. So even Striya, Vaishyas, Tatha Shudras, all of them can attain the supreme destination. In this regards, there is very nice verse that comes in the Bhagavatam, second canto, chapter 4, where Shukdev Goswami is about to speak Bhagavatam, start Bhagavatam. So at that time, what happens? He starts to do his Manglacharan. Shukdev Goswami अपना Manglacharan कर रहे हैं. So in that, he is glorifying the devotees of the Lord. So in that regards, he spoke this very famous verse. He says, Kirat Honandra Pulinda Pulkasha Avira Kamka Yavana Kasadaya Ye Anye Cha Pap Yad Apashraya Ashraya Shuddhyanti Tasme Prabhu Vishnave Namah. So here he is saying the power of bhakti or power of taking shelter of pure devotee that leave about Striyo, Vaishyas, Tatha Shudra. They still fall under the Varnashram category. But lower than them, Yavanas, Mlechas, and all of them, what about them? Will they be able to advance in bhakti? Yes, they can also advance. Being lower than Shudra is also not a disqualification to advance in bhakti. So there he names all the lower kinds of low species who are lower than Shudra. किराट होना आंध्रा पुलिंदा पुलकश आबिर शुंभ यवना एंड ऑल द मेंबर्स. और बाद में बोलते जो नाम नहीं भी लिखे इधर, बट और ये चान्य पाप योनि है, और भी जो पापी योनि है, ऑल ऑफ देम कैन बी डिलीवर्ड जस्ट बाय टेकिंग द shelter of pure devotee of the Lord. So therefore we see bhakti is practically unstoppable. Anyone can do bhakti and reach the end goal of his life. Any examples where person lower than Shudras also got bhakti? Practical examples from anywhere? Mrigari, of course, lower than Shudra or almost comparable to Shudra, that to enjoying half killing animals. Suddenly he changed just by power of Narad Muni. Any other example? Haridas Thakur Koyal Yorkan is a prostitute आई, so that she also got delivered. Gajendra. Correct. He also. And so many other examples are present in Bhagavatam and Chaitanya Charitamrita. And there is one very nice thing which I came across in 7th canto that proves how bhakti is apratiya. There is literally no qualification to enter in bhakti. आप कोई ये सोचे कि चलो एटलीस्ट पढ़ा लिखा तो होना चाहिए, एटलीस्ट कुछ चीजें समझ तो आनी चाहिए तभी भक्ति कर पाएंगे, तो that is also rejected. So this happened when Prahlad Maharaj gave instructions to his Gurukul kids. At that time Gurukul kids were very much confused कि अरे where did you get this knowledge from? Because बचपन से जब तुम गुरुकुल आ रहे हो, गुरुकुल से कोई अंदर आ नहीं सकता, कोई डिवोटी अंदर, नारद मुनि गुरुकुल के अंदर आ नहीं सकते, और तुम नारद मुनि से मिलने जा नहीं सकते बिकॉज हिरण्यकशिप का कड़ा पहरा रहता है. एंड प्रहलाद महाराज से आई हैव लर्नड ऑल दिस फ्रॉम नारद मुनि. सो ऑल गुरुकुल बॉयज आस्किंग क्वेश्चंस. उनको डाउट आ गया कि अरे टीचिंग्स तो आप बता रहे हो, सही बता रहे हो, बट नारद मुनि अंदर आ नहीं सकते, आप नारद मुनि से मिलने जा नहीं सकते, सो वेयर फ्रॉम यू गॉट द टीचिंग्स? At that time Prahlad Maharaj said that he gave the whole history that how Hiranyakashipu went for austerities and devatas thought that tapasya karte karte iska body khatam ho gaya and he has died. They did not know that he was still alive, preserving his life in the bones which were remaining. He said अपने पाप के नीचे ही ये खुद आके मर गया और अभी एक और हिरण्यकशिपु है वो कयाधु के पेट में. So before he takes birth we should kill him. So all the devatas they approached Kayadu, कि Kayadu बची है, उसके अंदर she is pregnant, another Hiranyakashipu is there inside. If he comes, he will also torment us. So before that, as soon as she will give birth, we will kill the child. So like that Indra approached. At that time, Narad Muni intervened and they said that another Hiranyakashipu under there is a great Mahabhagavata who is inside the womb of Kayadu. So at that time, Indra left, he circumambulated across the Mahabhagavata and then he went to his abode. So at that time, when Narad Muni, in Narad Muni's ashram now, Kayadu is there and she is in pregnant state. So at that time, Narad Muni is giving all these instructions from of bhakti instructions to Kayadu also. And to our small brother Maharaj, who is in the form of embryo, he is in the womb. So at that time, even in that womb stage, he is able to understand the bhakti instruction and he is able to advance in bhakti. Even in the womb stage, he has not even taken birth yet. So that much how bhakti is apratihata. It cannot be stopped even if one is not born also. अभी पैदा भी नहीं हुआ, but still any material thing is not a obstruction in advancing in bhakti. So in Prabhupada in Purport 2, Canto 7, chapter 7, verse number 1, he writes, when he was in the womb of his mother, Prahlad Maharaj listened to the words of Narad Muni. One cannot imagine how the baby in embryo could hear Narad, but this is spiritual life. Progress in spiritual life cannot be obstructed by any material condition. This is called ahetuki apratihata. Reception of spiritual knowledge is never checked by any material condition. Thus, Prahlad Maharaj from his very childhood spoke spiritual knowledge to class friends, and certainly it was effective, although all of them were children. So therefore we see in womb में भी कोई भक्ति कर सकता है. So that much how bhakti is unstoppable. And then he gave bhakti to demons also. So demons also can do bhakti. And like that, as Prabhuji gave example of Gajendra, that animal body में भी भक्ति कर सकता है. So literally there is speaking, there is no obstruction to advance in bhakti. And we also see the dog of Shivananda Sen also. He also got delivered. And another dog story comes when childhood of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he also got delivered. So that's how powerful bhakti is. Nothing, literally nothing can be an obstruction to bhakti. So now when bhakti is so very powerful, why does it not show much effect on the sadhakas? So either Shastras is wrong, या तो शास्त्र गलत बोल रहे इतने सब एग्जांपल्स देके, या फिर there is some flaw in our own way of execution of bhakti. So this is the thing which we all need to contemplate, that first of all one must have faith, full faith in process of bhakti, that bhakti itself is very powerful, and for a very short bit of time also if I'll perform it very nicely, qualitatively and quantitatively, for sure I'll advance in my bhakti. What happens generally is because we are doing the same activities daily, chanting daily, reading daily, so we take it for granted. Another day chanting, there is no enthusiasm in the morning. This is very important opportunity, and then we get succumbed to so many things, so many thoughts come, sleep come, and we all simply forget because ये तो daily का activity है ना, रोज का activity है, so we take it for granted. Like Ruth cooks very nice prasad, so initial days जब अच्छा प्रसाद आता है we all glorify a lot कि बहुत अच्छा बना है, बहुत अच्छा बना है. बट देन एज डेज पास बाय हमको आदत हो जाती है, अभी क्या ग्लोरीफाई करे, सेम प्रसाद मिल रहा है डेली. और जिस दिन प्रसाद में थोड़ा गलती होता है, तो वी आर रेडी टू blaspheme the person, forgetting that for so many days he has cooked so nicely, little bit of this. So we start taking things for granted. So similar attitude comes for bhakti also. कि daily कर रहे, purification भी हो रहा है, but then that granted attitude comes and we do not take it very very seriously. So if we don't take bhakti seriously, bhakti will also not take us seriously. Jaya yatha mam prapadyanti. So therefore it is said that when one sit for chanting in morning also, so one should think that this is the only best slot for me chanting. Throughout the day, there will be no greater slot than this. So let me take this opportunity very, very seriously because bhakti is apratihata, unstoppable and very, very powerful. So these 2 hours, if I spend very, very nicely, for sure, I'll advance greatly in bhakti. And you will see in 1 or 2 days, you will not find much difference between two sadhaka. One sadhaka who is not taking bhakti seriously and another sadhaka who is taking this bhakti seriously. एक दो दिन में पता नहीं चलेगा कि हाँ सेम ही नेचर है, कहाँ कुछ बदल रहा है. But with the span of 1 or 2 years or maybe 5 years down the line, you will see massive difference between both of them. The other person who is not taking chanting and other things seriously, वो उधर ही है अभी भी. Maybe he has degraded also because of his offenses of not taking chanting and other things seriously. But another person who has taken bhakti very seriously, day after day, engaging little, बूंद बूंद से सागर बनता है, उसने वो सागर बना दिया. 5 साल के बाद you will see massive difference. You will actually see that nature is also changing. So that is the power of bhakti. It's very powerful. The only thing is we should not keep that granted attitude कि हाँ daily chanting कर रहे, daily reading कर रहे, and let me just do it mechanically or as so. So this one should remember, bhakti is very very powerful, and we should each and every day we should have that awe and reverence mode of bhakti. That bhakti devi is very very powerful, and she can very quickly make me advance in bhakti. And even when it comes to reading, in last class also we were discussing that how reading helps us being completely absorbed throughout the day in the things which is related to Lord. So we can quickly make ourselves absorbed in our daily activities also when we do our sadhana. When the input is very nice, quality shravan, not just reading, quality shravanam. If we do, then throughout the day you will see we will be able to remember the Lord. I was so therefore consistently daily performing your Shravanam is very important. Recently, or actually some time back when I was hearing one of the lectures of Amrendra Prabhu, he was saying that he had a mentor who was the head priest of this Vrindavan temple, head pujari. So once he was reporting to his mentor about his sadhana. So once he did not do reading. He was doing reading consistently, but only one day he did not do reading. And he told that, yesterday I could not do reading because of so and so reason. And the mentor of his started to scold him like anything. Like mad person, like as if he had broken one of the regulative principles. इतना डांटने लगे कि ऐसा लग रहा था 4 regulative में से कोई regulative principle break कर दिया, इतना डांटने लगा. And at that time he was saying, see, I am the head priest, head pujari of Vrindavan. I am completely engaged from morning to night. I have only to make sure of the schedule, and I have to do other pujas bhi hote, so I have to go, and he's completely busy. We cannot be imagine how much busy he is. But still he says, I still take out at least 45 minutes daily for my sadhana, for my reading and hearing, for my shravanam. So even though such person who are so busy or head priest of Vrindavan, they are taking time. So we cannot say that मेरा मेरा schedule ज़्यादा tight है. So all these are just excuses. So all this only shows that we don't. It's not priority. खाने के लिए तो हम daily time निकाल लेते हैं ना, बिना luxuriously we take out good amount of time for eating. Why? Because we know it is necessity and enjoyment both. So वैसे ही when we take bhakti as necessity also, when after that when enjoyment keeps on coming, अभी वो ऑटो पायलट मोड पे चला गया, अभी उसको एक्सटर्नल मोटिवेशन की जरूरत नहीं है. Once he has realized the necessity and once he has started to enjoy this shravanam process, then there is no need. But now, right now, it's the great need for us to make a discipline. Because until unless we don't make a discipline and study shastra or other things bhakti daily and regularly, taste will not come. और जब तक taste नहीं आया, autopilot mode नहीं आएगा. So therefore, for some time we have to be very disciplined in our sadhana. Then you will realize कि एक दिन भी अगर साधना मिस हो गई ना, तो next day consciousness takes a great hit. Like मंगल आरती भी एक दिन, अभी हम since we are regularly attending मंगल आरती, एक दिन मंगल आरती नहीं attend करते तो कुछ अजीब लगने लगता है या लेट आए बहुत अजीब लगने लगता है. Because we are addicted to this thing. Similar things happens with our sadhana also, or chanting, reading. एक दिन भी qualitative chanting नहीं हो पाया तो there will be a lot of pain in the heart कि आज chanting अच्छे से नहीं हो. So to that thing to come first, you have to follow discipline and take bhakti as a very ordinary. That it's a powerful thing. Take it not for a granted attitude, not doing just mechanically, but taking it as this bhakti can change my whole life. And by doing this strong bhakti, one will see that he is able to come out of the 3 modes of material nature gradually. जो nature हमारा change नहीं हो पा रहा by the 3 modes of pulls of 3 modes of material nature, which is almost impossible to give up, that will happen by the power of bhakti. Because bhakti is very powerful. We all saw it's apratiyata, it's unstoppable. So with this faith, one should take bhakti very seriously and keep on advancing, taking sadhana, seva, everything very seriously. So this I'd like to pass. Any questions, comments, we can discuss.
Thanks for presenting us. Various questions from Sri Bhagavad. So, this is there any reference, Prabhu, that when causeless, let's say, of the devotees, how that let's say flows from devotee to the other person?
Satam Vishwanath Chakravarti, his commentary on the same sloka hai dukhi pratya suprasiddha. So he very elaborately explains that how bhakti is ahetuki and how bhakti begins, how from Satam Kripa it begins everything, how Satam Kripa is also dependent on bhakti only. So Bhakti Sanjaya, he explains it very nicely in that particular. That the Prabhupada also explained. The very verse which I read, no, Prabhupada's purport from this one, Prahlad Maharaj Gom, 771 purport you can display. So there he gives this meaning of Ahetuki Apratiyata, that it is Bhakti is causeless and unstoppable Apratiyata.
To describe Bhakti, Ahetuki Apratiyata usually you are going technical aspects of Tatastha, Rupa, Swarupa, something of this.
No, not like that. Just simple, because a verse can be broken down in many ways. So one ahetuki and apratiyata can be attached to the follower, the one who is doing bhakti. If he performs this bhakti, then that will completely purify himself. Other way of understanding bhakti is ahetuki and apratiyata can be attached to bhakti itself, not the performer of bhakti, but bhakti itself, to show the attributes of bhakti. That bhakti is ahetuki apratiyata. So many ways words can be interpreted. So this was the second way.
Because Vaishnav interprets in such a way, he give commentary in such a way that there are two swarupas are there, Swarupa and Tatastha. To display the bhakti.
Okay, so we'll pause here. Grantha Srimad Bhagavatam ki Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki